How's everybody get here? I just thought I'd do a brief recap of what I've been up to. Let's see, what else? I'm still camping in the Coconino National Forest. It's freaking beautiful out here. I'm on my way down to the store right now, but let me just give you a quick little 360 of the view. Sorry I'm by the road. I'm on my way down to the store. Hopefully the audio is okay. Those are the that way, yeah, there we go. Those are the San Francisco peaks over there. Unfortunately, that whole side of the forest is closed because of the fire closures. And this side of the forest is still open though. I'm camped further up that way, about a mile that way, and then another half mile into the woods. It's pretty nice. I got a really nice little campsite out there. Set back in the woods away from the rest of the dispersed camping, so I don't have to, worry about people. Anyway, well, let's see. I had a few questions asked in advance. I'll go ahead and answer those now while I'm waiting for people to show up. The first question was from my friend Laura in Florida. She wanted to know what was a bear can, because I've been talking a lot about how I need a bear can before I can go up to the Grand Tetons in Yellowstone. So a bear can is basically a big, hard plastic container. They're specially made and designed. They have to be approved by the National Park Service to use them in the national parks. You put your food in there, your toothpaste and toothbrush, anything that smells, pretty much, anything with a smell. That way, the bear, they're shaped and large enough so the bear can't carry it off. The bear can't get its mouth around it to open it up. And it's just as much for my safety as it is for the bear's safety, because what happens, unfortunately, is bears will get accustomed to human food and they'll start to go into campsites and bother hikers because it's, hey, easy food source, right? And when that happens, they can get aggressive, and then unfortunately the bear will have to be put down. So while it is for my protection, it's more for the bear's protection, to be absolutely honest. At least that's how I look at it. Because for my protection, I could hang a bear bag. I could put my food in a bag, hang it from a tree, but bears are smart. They figured out how to get into them bear bags. So a lot of places now where they have black bear and a particularly brown bear, grizzlies, you have to use a bear can. So that's that. Let's see, another question was from Jason in Delaware, or is he in Maryland now? I'm not sure. Anyway, he wanted to know about, gear reviews and hiking and camping hacks. So I am doing a gear review video that'll be out later this week of what the gear I have now, the pros, the cons, why I want to replace some of it, why I'm going to keep some of it, but as far as hacks, that's a really good idea for a video of its own. I'll give you a few right now off the top of my head. So pretty much anything you can multi-purpose. So when you're out hiking, especially if you're doing long distance hiking, you don't want to carry something, especially if it's heavy, that is only used for one thing and maybe not used very often. So anything you can multi-use, awesome. So for example, my sleeping bag. At night, I sleep in it. It keeps me warm. During the day, I put my water jugs and my food in there, and it keeps it cool. So even in the middle of the afternoon, this time of the day, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, when it's hot as balls out here, I still have not cold water, but pretty cool water. Not as cold as it was when it was getting down into the 30s at night. I had cold water all day. That was pretty awesome. So now, it's still pretty good. Some other hacks. So all right, I have, and I'll include it in the video so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. It's a rain poncho / tarp. It's like basically a big tarp with a hole and a hood in the middle of it, and you can tie off the hood so it's like an actual tarp. So I'll use that for rain gear. I'll use that as a pack cover. At the moment right now, I've got it strung up over top of my tent, so it's a bit of a sun shield, and that way I can open up the rain fly and get some air going, because my tent has one of the mesh tops. Let's see. Oops, sorry about that. Let's see some other hacks. Trekking poles. So yeah, okay, you use trekking poles when you're walking, but you can also use them to help hold up a rain fly or a tarp. When I had my Hennessy hammock, one of the things I loved the most about that Hennessy hammock, besides it being comfortable and light and easy to use, was the rain fly. You could either pull it down really close, so if it was raining or really windy, you could get protection from the elements, or you could prop it up and have the front sticking out kind of like a patio roof, and you'd have a nice little area, so even if it was raining, You just put a little angle on it. You could sit under there. You wouldn't be stuck in the hammock. Although I usually did stay in the hammock because that thing was so comfortable. You could lie in it, sit in it. It was awesome. All right. I wonder if anybody's going to show up. All right. If you, well, I'll see the little number if you show up. So hopefully someone will show up soon. I don't think I had any other questions in advance. So let's see. Oh, okay, I know. So about work. I'm going to be staying here. I was only going to stay in Flagstaff for another week or two before I headed north. But I think this is a really good opportunity for me to get some money set aside, get a couple of things I need, get that bear can. I have to get an America the Beautiful pass. I would really, really like to get a can of bear spray. It's not mandatory, but I don't have any experience with grizzlies yet. I'd rather not, and if I do, I'd really feel a lot better if I had the bear spray. That I'm gonna have to get another pair of shoes soon, not right away, but soon, because these Merrell Moab FSTs I should have known they were a lower end of the Merrell brand. I think they were $65 or $70 on Amazon. So I've only put a little over 100 miles on them so far over the last month or so, a little over a month. No, longer than that, almost 2 months now, actually. Okay, but still, I've only put like about 100 miles on them, and I'll show you. They're falling apart here. This is falling apart. It's like, I mean, a high quality hiking shoe, you should get about 500 miles out of it, and with these already starting to give me issues at 100 miles, I know I'm not going to get that. So I'm saving up. I'm going to get a pair of Ultra Lone Peak 3.5s. They come really highly recommended. Almost, not all through hikers, but a vast majority of them that I'm familiar with, they wear these. They're really good for hiking. They're very durable. They've got a wide toe box. They're zero drop. So I'm going to give those a try, see how those go. I mean, they can't go worse than these. I will say about these Moab FSTs, they are very comfortable. They're thin enough that I can actually feel what I'm walking on, but they're thick and cushioned enough where I'm not getting poked in the bottom of the foot by rocks. So that's pretty awesome. All right. Let's see, what else can I talk about while I'm waiting? I hope someone's going to show up. I'll understand if you don't. I mean, I did have to postpone it at the last minute and reschedule, and I am sorry about that, but I got to go make money, right? We all got to eat. And yesterday, did I ever eat? I pigged out at Burger King, and then I went to the grocery store and I got some Nathan's cheese dogs and brought them back to camp and cooked them up. And I had them for dinner. I had them for breakfast. I had them for lunch, and I got 2 more to have for dinner tonight. Well, that's good, because I am so sick of ramen. It is good to eat meat. Sorry, vegans. No offense intended. Let's see, what else? So, I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about. I figured someone else would be here by now. Oh, well. Okay, I started talking about going north. So, yeah, I'm going to stay here in Flagstaff for another month and do that work. I really like these ladies. They're really cool. The work is easy. I'm cleaning an apartment that they rent out for Airbnb. Clean the beds, do laundry, clean up, vacuum, sweep, mop, blah, 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 clean the bathroom, that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you can't really beat that. I was like figuring I'd be outside in this 90-degree heat, but nope. So I'm going to stay here and work for them for the next month. And then I'm going to head north. That does mean a little bit of change in my itinerary as far as being in the Hoh Rainforest for August. It'll still be there next year. Maybe I can still get there for a week, but I mean, I want to spend at least a week in the Grand Tetons. There's a lot of things there, especially for photography, that I really want to go see, like Mormon Row. Obviously, the mountains themselves are pretty badass. Sorry, I guess I can't say that on YouTube anymore. Are pretty cool. And I definitely want to spend at least 2 weeks in Yellowstone. I mean, really, I'd like to spend more, but I think 2 weeks should be good for a first visit. I want to go to Lamar Valley. I want to do some hiking in the mountains. And with my schedule being backed up how it is, that'll actually work because I won't have to worry about snow in the mountains. So, hey, that's good, right? All right. Well, I guess no one's going to show up. So, okay, I know. I'll just think of some questions because people will watch this later. So, okay, well, here, I just thought of this because I'm sitting here by the road. I'm sure you can probably, even with the microphone, I'm sure you can hear the cars passing by. Um, Hitchhiking. What is hitchhiking like? Well, hitchhiking, you just kind of have to get used to the rejection. Don't take it personal. Most cars will just pass right by you. Every now and then, someone will yell something rude at you. Um, every now and then, someone will throw a bottle or a piece of trash at you. I haven't had that happen out here yet, though. I haven't had any yellers or trash throwers. But other places I've been, I've had a pee bottle thrown at me. That I'm really glad that didn't hit me. I would have been mad. um, but some days you get picked up like that. There was one day I was heading down to the store, and literally the first car that passed me that I had my thumb out for pulled over. And there's other days where you will walk 6, 7, 8 miles and nobody will stop. So it's kind of like, all right, you're walking down the road and you're waiting for someone to go by who, one, is willing to pick up a hitchhiker, two, doesn't look at you being all scruffy and dirty and think, oh, I'm not letting that in my car. And, is generally a good enough person to know that, they can tell that I'm a hiker, I'm not a danger to them. And a lot of it depends on the area you're at. So when someone does pull over, well, let me tell you about this. So when you're walking down the road and you got your thumb out and you're walking and you're walking and you're walking and you hear the car start slowing down behind you, and then it passes you and you see it pulling over into the shoulder, you're like, yes, it's like such an amazing feeling. And then, you have to be safe about it. You always want to either make a mental note and text it or snap a picture of the license plate before you get in the car. You introduce yourself, get a vibe for the person, let them know where you're going, see where they're going. And I've never had a problem hitchhiking, though, as far as feeling unsafe. Um, some of the best rides I've ever gotten were for some people who at first sight you would be like, oh, I'm not going to get in a car with them. But they're awesome. And I mean, most of the time in the areas that I'm at, I'm usually around a national park or a national forest, so hitchhikers are a little more common. I certainly wouldn't recommend like hitchhiking in a city or anything. For one, you'd probably get stopped by the cops. But I've never, to all the people out there who worry about me hitchhiking, I have never once felt unsafe hitchhiking. Now, all right, there was one time up in Olympic when I was, I think I was coming, it was either from, I think I was coming back from Forks to Port Angeles. Um, I mean, the guy was a little off, but I didn't feel in danger of my life or anything like that. Um, some tips for hitchhiking. Well, yeah, let's do that. Let's do some tips for hitchhiking. So one, look as presentable as possible. If you're a thru hiker or you've been out camping in the woods for a while, yeah, it's kind of hard. I mean, you know, wear bright clothing, nice bright colors. Um, you don't want to have sunglasses on. If you can be more clean shaven, that's awesome. You want to be as clean as you can. So clean yourself up before you go to try hitchhiking. Get some baby wipes or something, or if you've got a water source nearby, go for a dip in the lake. You don't want to be getting in too stinky, but they kind of expect that. If you're trying to go long distance, definitely a good idea to have a sign, piece of cardboard, pizza box, anything that you can write on with a Sharpie, with where you're going on it. Try and put something funny on it. One of the people I follow online had a sign where he said, rabies free since April. And it worked. Someone actually went down to the next exit, turned around, came back, got off at an exit, got back on the same side he was originally on, and picked the guy up. He was like, I never pick up a hitchhiker, but your sign was stuck in my head and I had to come pick you up. So if you can do it a little bit humorous, that's awesome. Let's see, any other tips for hitchhiking? Don't try to do it inside the city limits if you can, because like I said, you'll probably get stopped by a cop and they might be cool and give you a ride to the city limits, or they might not be cool. It all depends on the jurisdiction, issues they've had, the personality of the cop, things like that, So I always try to go outside the city limits. Man, it is beautiful out today. I'm going to show you these mountains again. I really hope that the fire closures are lifted before I leave, because I really want to go hiking in them. Now the word that I've heard from several people, nothing official, but just from people I've talked to, is that when the monsoon starts, which should be next week, it's usually the first week of July, once they get 1 or 2 good rains, they'll lift the closures. They probably won't lift the fire restrictions, so I still won't be able to have a campfire, but hey, it's whatever. I want to be able to go over on that side of the forest again. All right, let's see, what else? I don't know, I can't really think of anything. We're at 16 minutes. I guess no one's going to show up, so that's okay. We'll give more notice next time, and I promise I won't postpone it at the last minute. It's beyond my control, though. So if you're watching this after the fact, feel free to go ahead and put your questions for the next Q&A down in the comments. Go ahead and check out my other videos if you like. That Grand Canyon Riverwolf on the Road episode is up. I've got some good feedback on that, so if you haven't watched that yet, be sure to go ahead. If you like my channel, go ahead and be sure to subscribe and click that bell so you'll get notified as soon as I post a new video. Ooh, that's what I want to talk about. So I've been hard at work filming for a new series, a little secondary series while I'm here in Flagstaff. I talked about it previously in another video. It's going to be about people who think they can't go hiking, but they can. I mean, they might not be able to go climb Mount Everest, but they can still get out in nature and enjoy it. People who maybe are, have some sort of disability, or senior citizens, minorities, the LGBT community. I hear a lot of time in the LGBT community like, oh, there's no place out in the hiking world for me. Bullcrap. There's room out here for everybody. Let me tell you about the trail community. So you will meet progressive Bernie bros, you will meet redneck Trumpers, but when you're out there on the trail, it doesn't matter. You're all out there to enjoy nature. You're all out there doing the same thing. If you're on a long distance hike, you all have the same destination, and everybody just is really cool with each other and helps each other out. I've seen when I was in Olympic, camped along the Hoh River Trail. It was, most people did it in 2 or 3 days up to Blue Glacier and back. I think it's, what is it? 18.9 miles, I think, 20 miles, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been over a year, sorry. But, I would see all sorts of different people, and they might be in the same camping area, and someone would get a big fire going, and someone else would come over and say, hey, can I sit by your fire? And they'd start talking. And when you're out on the trail, man, politics and religion and class and race and crap don't matter. I mean, yeah, you'll probably run into a jerk here and there, but overall, man, the hiking community is really open and really chill and laid back. So yeah, but anyway, the whole purpose of that video series is because I hear from people I talk to, I really want to go camping or I really want to go hiking, but I can't because XYZ. So I decided, while I'm here with this downtime, I'm going to do a series, and I'm going to give suggestions and tips and show you ways where you can actually go out and get into nature, even if, you can't go on if you can't go hike the Appalachian Trail. You can still go camping for the weekend. But anyway, we'll get into that in that video series. I think it's something that I don't really see a lot of on YouTube. I did some searches for it, and there were a couple little videos for some specific things, but I think there's a community out there wanting that will respond to that. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Again, please go ahead and leave any questions for the next Q&A down below in the comments. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Also, just about every day, I post photos or a short video on Instagram. My Instagram is instagram.com/riverwolf. That's RIVERWULF. So go ahead and follow me on Instagram. And if you like what I'm doing out here and you'd like to support it, consider joining my Patreon community. We have lots of cool perks and awards. I'm actually getting to rework the reward system, do a little bit more actually interactive physical things. So we'll see how that goes. Keep an eye on that. But anyway, till the last day of June, which is I think the 30th this year. Anyway, at midnight on the last day of June, until then, I'm running a special for fundraising. If you join my Patreon community, I'm going to give you the perks for the level you join at. plus the perks for the next level for your first month. So go ahead and consider that. It's a really cool way for you to show your support for as little as $2 or as much as you want. Anyway, if you're watching this after the fact, thank you for watching, and y'all have a great night. Love y'all, and may the trail always rise to meet your feet. Peace, y'all.